Alright, today we are looking at a slide set for the Shadow 2. So that's this gun here. This is one of my favorite airsoft guns right now. This is a slide set from 5KU, and this is a CNC machined aluminum slide as well as a CNC machined aluminum barrel. If you want the exact product number, that is what this product is. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. But we are going to go ahead and get started here. So we have the slide, the barrel, and then this is the little pin for the barrel connecting to the hop-up chamber. And right off the bat, this looks like it's not quite black. This is like grayish. It is still, it's definitely very close to black. Like I don't know if you can even tell on the camera, but it does seem to be a little bit of a grayish color. It looks to be made pretty nicely. I chose to go with the primary machine, like skeletonized version. I have a primary machine barrel in my real CZ, so I thought it would be kind of cool to go with this type for my airsoft one. Now we have a big opening on the top, and then we have windows on the sides. And then we have the same window at the bottom that the stock slide has, as well as the Seal Project slide. And we're going to compare all three slides because I think that's important to do. In barrel, this looks like it's going to be a dropping barrel, unfortunately. So I may not use this after this video just because I don't really want the dropping barrel. But we're going to compare the slides because they are the most important part of this kit. I think first off, I'm going to remove the sights, the front sight and the rear sight from the stock one. This is a stock one. Okay. So now we have a bare stock slide to compare with. And we need to make sure we don't lose any of these little tiny pieces, because we are going to have to use those while we weigh it to accurately compare all three slides. Oop. Alright, so these two slides are stripped down. And the only thing left is going to be to strip down the one that I have on my gun. So the one that I have here that I have been using is a Seal Project slide, which is a nice slide. It just is very expensive. There is a massive price difference. I was going to look up the price difference before I made this video, but I forgot. I recommend you go online and look up the price difference between this slide is the Seal Project slide, and this comes as just the slide. Whereas the 5KU comes with a slide and a barrel. I'm pretty sure that this is at least, or it's like less than half the price. So the 5KU slide is less than half the price of the Seal Project slide, as far as I remember. Could be wrong, but it's close to that. Okay, and we should set all this stuff off to the side. We don't want to lose any of this. Okay, it's a little bit dirty, but it's fine. Now, I am not going to remove the sights from this. These are the stock sights. However, with the Seal Project slide, the way that it is, you have to shim the rear sight to make it fit properly. And then you have to glue in the front sight. They're not perfectly cut, which is kind of annoying, which is what I'm going to be interested in when comparing with the new 5KU slide. But before we do anything, we're going to weigh the differences. get our scale out here. And first up, we have the CL project slide. Or actually, no, let's do the stock slide first. That makes more sense. So we have the stock slide. This is just a pot metal. We're at 97 grams. Oh, actually, we need to add all the pieces. Let's see. So rear sight, little pin, little plate, front sight, and the 2 screws. So we're at 115 grams right now. And that's the stock slide. With the 5KU slide, we are at 99 grams with the 5KU slide. And with the Seal Project slide, we're at 112 grams. So if I remember correctly, that's basically the same weight as the stock one. Let's see, 112. $115. Okay, so 3 grams lighter. So the Seal Project is 3 grams lighter than the stock, but this 5KU one is significantly lighter than the stock. Again, that's going to be at 99 grams is what it's saying right now. Okay. That is out of the way. Now, I do want to see, first up, I know a lot of people are going to be comparing this to the Seal Project slide. So that's going to be what I'm going to be comparing to the most. Again, as I said earlier, one of the issues with the Seal Project slide is the sights don't really fit very well. We're going to see how well these sights fit in here. And it looks like the front sight is definitely a tight fit. You are for sure going to have to tap that in with a mallet, which was not the case with the Seal Project one. I don't know if I have a video on the Seal Project one or not, but it was very loosey-goosey in the front. That's tight, so that's good because it's easier to modify or to shave down a little bit of material than it is to replace. I'd rather shave the sight than add a shim for the sight. Okay, and rear sight. Okay, it looks like the same as the front sight. It's a very tight fit, which is good, in my opinion. That is what you want. You want it to be a tight fit, which this is. Yeah, you will definitely have to tap that in with a mallet, possibly remove material for the rear sight to fit, which I think is a positive, personally. Okay. Looking on the outside before we look at the inside of the slide, obviously very skeletonized compared to the Seal Project. There is, so these slides have these extractors that are separate pieces. So on the Seal Project, it's a little steel insert. On the 5KU, not sure what it is. I assume it's going to be steel. It's obviously different than the aluminum is. But to note, one of the biggest annoying things about the Seal Project is this like fake extractor here is just glued in. That's the only thing holding it there. There's no solid connection besides super glue. There is like a pin that sort of goes through, or like a peg, but that it doesn't do anything. It just keeps it like aligned so it doesn't slide forwards. But the only thing holding this piece on there is glue. Whereas on the 5KU, you probably already saw me turn it over earlier, but there is a screw right there that holds the fake extractor in place. I will probably need to Loctite that just to make sure, because I don't know if there's Loctite on that or not. but that is definitely a step in the right direction there, because that is one of the annoying things about the Seal Project slide. Now, as far as this screw up here, they still have a set screw up here. I believe that's on the real one that holds the extractor. I will have to Loctite that as well, because that can walk out into the inside of the slide, which right now it is poking out. So it definitely needs to be moved a little bit before we install the internal parts. I wish they wouldn't have had a hole that goes all the way through. I wish they would have had it be just a shallow pit instead of being a through hole. And that's the same thing on the Seal Project. It's a hole that goes all the way through, although they used a different size screw, but it's the same sort of deal. Yeah, I will point this out. I don't know how well you will be able to tell, but on the Seal Project up here, you can see the machining is not the greatest on this curve here. And I mean, that's the only part you can really tell because it's a curve. But basically, you just see it's a bunch of flat faces on that curve. And I really don't think the camera's going to pick this up. But that's one of the annoying things, because this is an expensive slide. I do expect the machining to be like really nice. On this cheaper slide, it doesn't have that issue. Now, granted, there's a much smaller area that has that that curve, but you can noticeably not see an issue there, which is nice for obviously the 5KU one. Kind of upsetting that the Seal Project one doesn't have good machining compared to such an inexpensive slide in comparison. Now, if you look on the inside, there's going to be some similarities and some differences. So obviously, at the bottom here, where the nozzle spring is going to sit, it's the same thing. That's the only way to really machine a nice slot. They used some different methods back here to finish the bottom of the slide in comparison. So they could have saved some weight there, like how the Seal Project saves a little bit of weight, but honestly, I don't think that's a big deal. And there is a slight indentation right here that runs down to about here. So along, this is the 5KU one. I don't know if you can see that in the light, on the slider rail, whereas on the Seal Project it is straight. I don't know particularly why that is. Oh, I guess the stock one is like that. So I'm not sure why the Seal Project one is not like that. What is... Yeah, I really don't know why they need to have that indentation there. It doesn't look like it's important. But it is. Or it is there. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that, but I did notice that because it looked weird to have that little pocket there, basically. And obviously, just some other minor differences. Not really that big of a deal, though. On the inside, everything seems to be in order. Oh, you can probably tell up here again the machining, how there's a bunch of ridges. I really don't know if you're going to be able to see that on the camera, but this curve here has a bunch of ridges on it. I don't know if you can hear my fingernail. Whereas on the 5K one, it is just smooth. There's not ridges on it. Which just makes this slide very disappointing to me. But I think we can go ahead and start doing some internals. I am going to try to see how well the 5KU blowback unit fits, because this does not fit on the stock slide. It does fit on the Seal Project slide, but this blowback unit is significantly lower quality than the Seal Project blowback unit. I do not recommend the 5KU blowback unit. We're going to see if this even fits in here, though. Oh, I guess no, we need that piece too. Yeah, it looks like it does fit. So this will fit, although I would not recommend using this blowback unit. But this blowback unit from 5KU doesn't fit in the stock one, which is crazy. I don't know why you would make an upgrade part that doesn't fit in the stock gun. But it does fit in the 5KU slide, which is good. Although we're not going to use it, so it doesn't really matter that much. So we're going to put in the CL Project blowback unit. This is the good blowback unit. This is what you want on your gun. Yeah, there we go. Now it is scraping. It is this screw is a very tight fit right now. But it's in there. It does look kind of nice how like perfect it's fitting. Well, obviously the camera's not going to do a good job. The nozzle does freely move. I do need to replace my nozzle spring. That's why it's not returning all the way, but it's not a big deal. Is that the full range of movement? Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's getting stuck on something inside. Oh, it's getting stuck on the screw up here. I'm an idiot. I need to... So I guess you could use this screw technically to as like a nozzle to prevent the nozzles from blowing back as far, but I don't know why you would want that personally. Yeah, so that seems good. It needs some lube, but it should be fine. And I will have to Loctite that screw when I get a chance. Now, that's in there. It seems very solid. It doesn't seem like a big deal. There's a little bit of flop, but there's not too much flop. That's kind of just going to be the nature of this. And we are going to want to put in the included barrel at some point. I do want to just check to make sure that this works with the CL Project barrel though. This barrel is a non-tilting barrel, so it will stay straight the whole time. Could definitely use some lube. Magazine and some black gas because it is cold here. No BBs in there. Does function. Alright, so it does function with a CL barrel. It's not getting too worked up or anything like that. Now we can transfer everything over into the dropping barrel. It does appear to be a dropping barrel. Obviously we won't know 100% until we put it in, but it looks like that's going to be how it is. Because it's a dropping barrel, I'm not going to be using these shims. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's a dropping barrel. Which, the dropping barrels are cool. Dropping barrels are cool, it's just as they're not as good. That's the main issue you have. I do want to see, because I use this extended barrel, I want to see if it'll... It doesn't seem like it's getting too hung up. Now, I can put it in. One thing I did notice is, oh, I need the whole recoil system. The barrel inside of it, there's quite a, oh, this is going to be impossible. There's a lot of like play as far as this is concerned. When the barrel's in here, there is a large amount of movement. Much more so than there was with the Seal Project. And I think that is just this outer barrel, because I think when this was in here, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, there. I mean, there's still some, and that's just kind of how the gun is. Okay. Recoil system. Still locks back with even with that short stroke. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the slide catch seems to be getting caught a little bit on, what is it? Maybe getting caught right, yeah, on this. So I'm probably going to come back and shave that down just a tiny bit to make it not so difficult for the slide catch to overcome. I don't think I have an issue when I have this one. When I'm like trying to push up on the slide catch to manipulate it. So oftentimes when I want to lock open the slide, I will push up and then pull back the slide. And I don't know if you saw, but it kind of got hung up there for a second. But as you can see, the back of it lines up pretty dang well, which is nice. The front of it is like this, but that's how it's supposed to be. Let's see. With a gas magazine, we'll probably top it off. Yeah, it's really getting hung up. It does not like the slide catch is, oh, because the magazine's empty, obviously, but okay. I think there's not enough gas in here. See if it locks open. Okay, it does. It definitely needs to be lubed up before it's going to lock open consistently, but it is locking up the first couple shots on a full. I think it's full of gas. It might not be, but it is what it is. This gun does not like gas. This gun likes the CO2. Right, you can see, yeah, and we can remove it when we just pull all the way back, which is nice. But I mean, that is basically it. I'm not going to put their sights on right now because I have other sights that I'm going to be putting on it in the future. But that is where we are at for now. I think overall, at least the slide, the barrel is obviously a drop-in barrel. You may want to swap out the barrel to be like a fixed CL Project barrel like this one. But the slide, which is the important part, does seem to be nice. Definitely need to shave down this circle here for the slide catch so it doesn't get stuck so easily. Let's see. Yeah, it's just loose. It seems like it's just not having a good time overcoming. But the machining is really nice on this slide. The barrel, the barrel is good quality. It just is dropping, obviously. If I would have known it was dropping, I would have ordered a or looked for a fixed 5KU barrel. I assumed it would be fixed because nobody wants a dropping barrel, but this one obviously is dropping. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, pretty good choice, personally, especially for the price. This is significantly cheap. It's at least, or it is more than 50% off compared to the Steel Project, if I remember correctly, if you contribute the barrel into the cost, because obviously this is a kit that comes with the barrel and the slide, whereas the Steel Project, you buy them separately. And now I don't know what type of aluminum this is. I don't know if this is 60 series or 70 series. 5KU does both, and with all my research, I couldn't find anywhere that said specifically what type of metal this was. Whereas the Steel Project one is, if I remember correctly, it's 70 series. 99% sure the Steel Project one is 70 series, but if I'm wrong, you can just correct me in the comments. But that is my video. So yeah, I think this is a good choice, good option. When the tariffs go away, it's probably a time that you want to buy this, because I bought this during the tariffs, which made this very expensive, but I really wanted to do a video on it, so that is that. And these are the 5KU sights that are on here, and you can watch my video that I have on this coming up soon, probably, that'll have these sights featured in it. So front sight and rear sight that are aluminum, which is pretty cool. There we go. Have a nice day. Maybe we should move that out of the way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video was useful for you. And make sure you check out the link down below. That is a link to our Discord server, and you are welcome to join. All right? Have a nice day.